The Washington Post,
What?
the New York Times,
What?
the San Francisco Chronicle, and other news publications declined to endorse Kamala for president.
Why?
That haven't been done, but need to be done.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
But then again, who needs an endorsement when the media has been in her back pocket
That is true.
the entire time?
That is also true.
I'm Jasper Gonzo on this, and this is the same media that accused Trump of calling for the assassination of a former congresswoman.
What the fuck?
2 days.
How do you like my garbage truck?
What is what's next? What's up, everyone? Jasper Gonzo, what's next? Your daily dose. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Sunday. This is the weekend edition. 2 days. We're just 2 days away. 2 days away from doing what needs to be done to make Kamala, Willie Brown's side piece, and her celebrity-endorsed asshats, and everybody else who endorses them, go away. But when it comes to celebrity endorsements, we've seen a plethora, over the last 6 months, including, most recently, a cringe-filled endorsement ad by the cast of the Avengers. Yes, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, and the lot cast their coins for one Kamala Harris. But in this day and age, when it comes to endorsements, when you have major publications like the Washington Post, the New York Times, the San Francisco Chronicle, and other news publications around the country refuse to endorse, what does that say? Do they know something that we don't? Do they know that Trump is going to be reelected again? Well, in this day of endorsements, with social media and what have you, she really doesn't need them because she's had the media in her back pocket this entire time. And here we go. This comes out of New York Post. Who needs an endorsement? Media has been biased for Kamala from the start. In a recent op-ed, Washington Post owner Jeff Bezos noted that the media is now less trusted than Congress. Something we are doing is clearly not working, he said. No, really? It was a refreshing admission to follow an uproar of the ultra-left Post over a decision not to endorse a presidential candidate. Naturally, most of the staff was hell-bent on supporting Kamala, and some sputtered with rage by accusing Bezos of trying to curry favor with the Donald. In his column, the owner rejected the charge while noting the endorsements, and that endorsements create a perception of bias. Ending them is a principled decision. Bezos deserves credit for explaining his decision, but events demonstrate his misdiagnosis, the disease, and vastly underestimates it. The problem is not the public that believes that the media is biased. The problem is the media is biased. The main evidence is not the main evidence is not the editorial endorsements or opinion columns labeled as such. The bias is revealed when supposedly straight news articles are so one-sided it becomes indistinguishable from propaganda. Agenda-driven journals. To borrow a phrase from the late Ed Koch, former mayor of New York City, too many reporters are nothing more than politicians with press passes. Fact. That's certainly the case of the Washington Post, which has been at the forefront of the outbreak of media madness dominating the campaign's final days, along with ABC, NBC, CBS, the New York Times, CNN, NPR, and the Associated Press. Bezos' outlet has disgraced itself by shilling for Harris in its news pages. Facts be damned. This is not the ordinary tilt that we unfortunately come to expect. This is a whole new level of flagrant misconduct. I've never seen anything like it, nor has anyone else. History is being made in a terrible way. It seems incredible now, just but 20 years ago. Wow, 20 years, really? Since the 2004 campaign, top CBS anchor Dan Rather was caught presenting false documents to claim that President George W. Bush, who was running for re-election at the time, got preferential treatment in the military in the 70s to avoid being sent to Nam. CBS investigated. Rather and his team were fired. Nowadays, given how corrupt CBS is, they will be celebrated. Oh, how true. And how far has the media fallen? Fearing that Harris could lose in the Tuesday's vote, most major outlets are trashing even the pretense of professionalism and fairness to serve up distorted and sometimes fabricated gotcha moments against Trump. Each is delivered with breathless urgency aimed at swaying voters. And guess what? It's not working. Monday reeked of false claims that Trump hated Puerto Ricans and that while a successful rally at Madison Square Garden was full of racisms. I was there. It was joyful, spirited, and one comedian made a tasteless joke. Then came the ridiculous assertions, that Trump is targeting women and his policies and don't care what they want to say, all designed to boost Harris with women in the last few days. Remember that. Liz Cheney's spin cycle. Friday brought this disgraceful accusation that he had threatened the GOP turncoat Liz Cheney with execution. In fact, what Trump clearly did was call her a warhawk, who wouldn't last a minute in combat if she faced enemies, guns pointing at her. But why report the truth when lies are so much useful? With that said, let me jump to this real quick. This comes out of Breitbart. Trump did not call for the assassination of Cheney, but one of the Kamala Harris's celebrity donors did. Can you guess which one? Former President Donald Trump in no way called for the execution of former Representative Liz Cheney, as media outlets claimed in the latest anti-Trump hoax. But one of the Vice President's Kamala Harris' top celebrity endorsers called for either then Vice President Dick Cheney or his wife assassination in 2002. This comes off the violent song Rap Game with a group by D12, which Eminem was a part of. Interesting. If you didn't get it, the lyrics. I'm gonna get snuffed because I ain't said enough to pipe down. I'll pipe down when the White House is wiped out. When I see that little Cheney dyke get sniped out, lights out, bitch, adios, good night, gunshot, ah. Now that puts in your little pipe and pipe down. Think for a minute because the hype just died down. That I won't go up in that Oval Office right now and flip whatever ain't tied down upside down. Gee. Context. Gotta love it. We go back to the Post. Harris, who has escaped all serious scrutiny, naturally took her cue from the media at jihad and declared that each concocted issue proved Trump is unfit. Her remarks were featured in the same media outlets as if repetition makes them valid. This is what passes for the news cycle in 2024. This bias against Trump has been a regular feature of his 9-year political career, but then the open hatred for his supporters has reached new depths. When Hillary called them deplorables and irredeemable in 2016, the media recognized her contempt and warned it could hurt her. Fast forward 8 years later, and the same press downplayed Joe Biden's description of Trump supporters as garbage. The intent was so clear that the White House offered stupid lies to make it seem innocent. When that didn't work, aides changed the official transcript, which angered stenographers. As if President Trump called Harris supporters garbage, then tried to cover it up, Dems would have demanded impeachment, and the media would have applauded like trained seals. My thoughts. 2 days. What have we seen in the last, 48 to 72 hours? You know? The garbage crack by Biden, of course, backfired, and, he got roasted for it, and Kamala's getting burned for it. And, of course, Trump loved every minute of it by showing up in a trash truck. The comment that was made by a comedian at the Madison Square Garden event, which, of course, was, Puerto Rico's a floating island of garbage. As a Puerto Rican, I didn't take any offense. I know there are those people who I know closely who did. That's fine. But at the end of the day, it backfired. So now you have the media saying, hey, you know what? Trump called for the assassination of Liz Cheney. No, he didn't. But of course, Eminem called for the assassination of her father. It's in the song. But then again, facts. But as we see all this with 48 hours to go before Election Day, people have made a decision, early voting. Others who have not, like myself, I will be voting on Election Day, as I always have. But this is the desperation that they're in. And I've said this on the last few videos. The desperation is so thick right now that they're wearing hip boots. It is cringe. It is disgusting at times. It's ridiculous and with most others. But it's assholery. And this has been the Kamala campaign from day one when she was, appointed as, heir to the chief, with not one single delegate voting for her, as Barack Obama suggested. But then again, Barack Obama has his head firmly up her ass right now as well. Again, 2 days. Get out there and vote. You got 2 days to make a change for the better. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please have a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.